You are watching McLaren Port Huron Today's Health Program, and I'm speaking with the Chief Operating Officer, Eric Cecava, about the ongoing construction and renovation at McLaren Port Huron. Thank you so much for coming and speaking with us today.
It's my pleasure.
So you just started at the hospital January of 2019, right?
Yes, we started January of 2019. My wife and my son and I, we all moved here from Ohio, so don't hold that against us. But we couldn't be happier with the move. Everyone at the hospital has been so gracious and so welcoming to us. You know, there's a very special culture of can-do, positive that I find rare and energizing. Additionally, the community, it's just so beautiful here. You know, so it's hard not to just love it right on face value. But we've also been tremendously impressed with the philanthropy and the giving back and how people have included us in so many events. So, you know, 7-8 months in, it's just been wonderful.
Oh, that's wonderful. We're glad to have you here too. So you came at a really busy time. So we've been busy with construction around campus for about 4 years or so. So can you tell us what's coming up next?
Yes, so I did come in right at the last phase here where we're working in the North Tower, and it's been very exciting. You know, those buildings have been around for a while, and so we're working top to bottom through the whole tower. So right now 5 and 6, the 5th floor and the 6th floor are under construction, and you see how the windows are out and things like that. But we're excited because those rooms will now be private. They'll be very similar to what the team had done in the South Tower. So we'll have private rooms for our patients. We'll be completely renovated, state-of-the-art rooms. And then we get to move into, and I think Jenna had talked about, the James C. Atchison Heart and Vascular Center. That'll be on the 2nd floor, state-of-the-art care for our patients and for our community. And then we'll continue to move through the rest of the hospital and do some renovations on the 1st floor and provide some really nice amenities, I think, to finish up this project's been going on for multiple years.
Yeah, it is beautiful. I mean, when we saw the South Tower construction and the whole themes, it's really starting to be carried on all through the North Tower as well. Right, all the rooms will look similar and same colors.
Yeah, it's gonna be really great. So we're already starting to see it. So the drywall's going in now. The ceilings will start going in, so you can start to see it. You know, sometimes when you demo things, it just looks like a bunch of construction areas, but it's really starting to come together. The private rooms, the same colors. It'll look just the same. A little smaller on some rooms because, again, with the infrastructure we were working within. And then we'll move into also part of that heart center. Will also work into a cardiac rehab observation unit on the 3rd floor. So our cardiac patients that may need caths, may not, that we're watching, will be very close to the cath labs. We are looking to add a 4th cath lab. This will really give us the opportunity to stay current and stay on the front edge with our heart care here locally. So we're very excited about everything that's going on in the North Tower.
That's wonderful. And I think for me it was hard when we started calling the North Tower the North Tower, because it used to be always East and West for all the time that I was here. So it's even relearning the names of our new locations is kind of challenging for some of us.
Oh, I hear that. I have so much fun with this because for me, I'm new.
Right.
So I just know it as North and South Tower, and then I get into conversations where people talk about East and the West Side, and I have to have a compass at times,
right,
to sort it out. But we are looking towards. Once we're done with the North Tower, let's say, what would that be? The west, the east side. The east side. See now, now you got me all turned around. But what we'll do in the west side is we are going to open ourselves up for growth, and so we will do a lot of demolition inside. So the tower will be there. The outside will get the same upgrades, new windows and things like that, so that it looks the same from the outside. But inside, we'll prepare ourselves for growth. So healthcare continues to evolve, change, and grow as an industry. We want to have undeveloped space to react to that and to strategize as things go forward. So when we talk about what will happen on the west side of the tower, that will be open area for growth and future development.
And that's really what the oldest part of the building, like from the 1930s. That side was.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. And for something now that's going on, what will it be? 90 years or so? Right. 80, 90 years. It looks pretty good. Everybody's taking good care of it.
So you talked a little bit about what's happening on the 3rd floor of the North Tower. So what's happening on the 5th and 6th floors?
Okay. Very good question. So on the 5th and 6th floors, The fifth floor will be our oncology and medical patients. So they will get our medical and oncology patients will have private rooms, a dedicated unit, so that those patients have all of the care and all of the types of drugs that are necessary in oncology patients. And then the sixth floor will be medical and surgical patients. And so we have a lot, we have a very healthy and growing surgical volume as well as a medical need here. And so those patients will also have private rooms and the same standards of care that the South Tower has.
Yeah, so you told us that you moved here just this year, so I know that you know what it's like to move, but how is it like to move a hospital, like the logistics that are involved with that?
Yes, it is very detail oriented. It's not as simple as boxing it up and having a mover move you. Although there are people who help us with that. So, in the South Tower when we moved there was about 7 or 8 departments that moved. By the time we're all done, 30 departments will have different homes or upgraded homes where they had to move out for a while and now they get to move back in. But what we do there is we get very detailed planning. We work closely with the nursing staff and the leadership teams, with the physicians, and then we do hire some help. So there's firms out there that help us. Same firm that helped us move into the South Tower will help us make our moves, because when it is the day of moving, it is very important that things happen on time. We have patients we need to move. There's a lot of things that you have to go patient by patient to make sure that everybody gets high quality care. And so we enlist a firm to help us with that. But the planning and prep has already started.
That's great. So this is the third and final phase. We say final now, right?
Yeah.
So when is this set to be completed?
So what we like to do is to open 5 and 6 in winter of this year. I'd like 2019. Maybe early 2020 would be the 5th and 6th floor, and then we will start to move in and do construction into the James C. Atchison Heart and Vascular Center, which will be on the 2nd floor. We're opening up the new cath lab, and we've been working on in the next few weeks. And then we'll get to the 4th cath lab. And so we try to have this all buttoned up, hopefully summer, early fall of next year.
That's great. We didn't talk about the 1st floor at all. So there is some renovations that happening on the 1st floor as well.
Yes, so we're really excited about this. As healthcare in the industry continues to move into quality and quality metrics and those kinds of things, what we are going to do on the 1st floor is completely renovate where the old emergency room was. And that will now be nursing and quality, and they'll be in that partnership, making sure that they get education, a brand new education center for nursing and for quality, so that kind of synergy can start there. We'll have access to all of our nursing and quality leadership on the 1st floor for our patients, so that if they have questions and things like that, they can go directly to the people. And so we think that with that, there will be not only the teamwork that moves us into the future, but also the education and investment into the future for our nursing and other staff.
That's wonderful. It definitely is it has been a big undertaking the last several years, and it's really starting to look like we're getting closer to completion.
Yes, the end is in sight.
Yes, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing this information with our audience. I think it was very interesting, and it was great to have you here.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been a wonderful experience for me as well.
Great. We do need to take a break, but stay with us. We will continue this discussion when we return.